TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com presents your latest Truman Lake Fishing Intel Expert Roundtable. TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com is your premier resource for up-to-date expert fishing reports and videos to help you find the fish faster and become a better Truman angler. Multi-species coverage includes crappie, catfish, bass, hybrids, and more. View this month's full episode roundtable exclusively at TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. This month's roundtable is brought to you by Anglers Port Marine. Whether you're a first-time boat owner or a seasoned professional, Anglers Port Marine has an option for you. Conveniently located between Clinton and Warsaw on 7 Highway, stop on in to view top industry boat brands including Phoenix and Low Boats. With their award-winning sales and service, Anglers Port Marine has you covered. 660-438-4600 or learn more at anglersportmarine.com. The Mahoney Real Estate Team, powered by eXp Realty. Introducing Tyler Mahoney, your trusted real estate expert from eXp Realty. With longtime roots in the Truman Lake area, Tyler knows the ins and outs of the many great features our region has to offer. As one of the top-selling real estate agents around the lake, Tyler excels in selling both land and homes, consistently fetching top prices for his clients. What sets Tyler apart? He delivers exceptional service through his professionalism and negotiation while using extensive marketing tools to get the most eyes on your property, including tools that no other agent has available in the entire state of Missouri. For a seamless real estate experience and unparalleled results, contact Tyler Mahoney today. Reach him directly at 816-536-7038. And now, let's start the show.
Boys and girls, we are back again for another edition of a Truman Lake Fishing Intel Expert Roundtable. It is the April 2025 edition. I'm here with a great crew of guys. We got Barry Weinberg from Anglers Port Marine, Darren Langford, bass fishing extraordinaire.
Sure.
I'm doing your same intro every time.
Yeah.
David Ryan, also bass fishing extraordinaire. Dave's Custom Baits. He's been out catching them on a jerkbait this week. We're going to hear something about that here in a little bit. Richard Bowling from Richard Bowling's Guide Service and Turkey Killing Machine with the old truck. Not good. A little out of season, Richard.
A little bit. Still got 2 beards.
And Jordan Lear from Angler's Edge Guide Service. Jordan's been chasing some spoonbill around. He's been chasing some crappie down at Lake of the Ozarks. You been catfishing?
Yeah.
When were you doing some catfishing?
Yesterday.
Oh, Jordan's going to have a little catfish update for us. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. The morel mushrooms are starting to pop up a little bit. We'll have some reports on that. Turkeys are gobbling. It's just a really great time. Yeah, little morel mushrooms Darren likes to find. That teeny tiny.
Ones he just fed us.
We had a great morel mushroom smorgasbord for dinner here. But before we get into all the fishing, we need to say a few things, a few announcements. Thank you to Anglers Port Marine, as always, for helping to make the website and these videos possible. Barry's going to fill us in a little bit on some of the latest updates from Anglers Port Marine. The announcement that I wanted to make was a reminder from last month. We talked about Jason Smith doing a seminar down in Warsaw on April 17th. It's sponsored by the Bothwell Regional Health Center. Just for showing up, it's free. There's free drinks, appetizers, and you will have a chance to win a fishing trip with Jason Smith just for showing up. It'll basically be a men's health seminar and a fishing seminar, Q&A with Jason regarding various crappie, spoonbill, catfish, anything you want to ask him about fishing, he'll be there talking about it. So it'll be a great little event down there in Warsaw, and you can check out the information. If you go to TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com, go to our resources tab. There's an article with all the latest information on that, how you register. So be sure to check that out. They're really wanting people to RSVP by April 14th to make sure that you get your spot saved. They're expecting quite a few people, so be sure to check that out. And then I think that's it on the announcements. Oh, no. Truman Lake Tournament Series. Hunter Bowling is running that this year. They've already had one event. If you are a member of Truman Lake Fishing Intel and you are competing in that event, you will get automatic. It's like a side pot entry. So you're going to win potentially an extra $125 per tournament if you weigh the biggest bag in our Truman Lake Fishing Intel members. So both members of the team have to be Intel members, and say you're, a spot out of the money, but you are the only team that had both guys as an Intel member, you still have a chance to win some money, $125. It's basically like a side pot. You can reach out to me, reach out to Hunter for any questions. It's pretty simple. So for a $60 to $75 investment for a 1-year membership on Truman Lake Fishing Intel, you're entered to win if you're fishing that tournament. So that's Truman Lake Tournament Series. Check that out. Okay, with that, now we'll get into some of the updates from Anglers Port Marine. Barry, I know you were talking about how you got a kind of a cool event on the water event coming up.
Hummingbird with J.E. Vanetta. He's doing a on the water seminar for hummingbird graphs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to call into Anglers Port 660-438-4600. Talk to Zandy and get a spot reserved. There's a limited number of spots. That way you can bring your boat, and Jay will go through it with you and kind of help you get your stuff set up.
How many spots are we talking? Like probably 5 to 10 spots, maybe?
No, I think they were like 15 to 20.
Okay.
I know there's about 5 already taken, so
Okay.
if you want to get into it pretty quick.
And that's a free event?
It's a free event.
And it's just Hummingbird Electronics. Are they going to look at the Hummingbird live? Is it going to be 360?
Whatever anybody's got on their boat. I mean,
Okay.
You can bring your own boat. And he'll help you go through it if you got any problems or any questions. He'll go from boat to boat and help everybody out.
Now, Anglesport Marine, you guys put stuff on like this throughout the year, don't you?
Should have a Garmin one coming up. We haven't got the date set for it. I don't think it'll be on the water, but we usually have an event there at the place and have lunch for everybody. And
because you guys will have it at Anglesport Marine in many cases.
Yeah, he usually comes in and brings several different displays and sets them up so you can play with everything while you're there too.
Yeah, absolutely. What's so service department's probably getting busy as people are getting ready for fishing season.
The warmer weather, everybody's wanting to get out. We're doing a pretty good job of keeping things going. Mercury a couple years ago was hard to get some stuff with the COVID, but not so bad anymore. We're staying pretty caught up, so it's a fun time right now. We've been installing quite a few new live scope installs. Actually, at the end of March, I think we installed about 4 of the new Minn Kota Quest Ultrexes. Had a lot of good reviews on them. People are loving those. And
what's the difference on that?
The Ultrex Quest is it's brushless. Basically, they took the Ultrex and fixed everything that was wrong with it. The mount's heavier. It is a little heavier than the old one, but the feel is crisp. It's smooth. They got a little better shaft on it now than the old ones. But the brushless, also they've set it up so if you're on a high setting and you go to hit your button and you're like going left or right, it doesn't automatically go to that. It ramps up slowly so you don't get thrown out of the boat. It's a nice setup.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because I've had that happen. If you're in a smaller boat and have it on high power, it can really throw you. You said it's a little heavier, so heavier as in like
the mount's heavier.
Okay, so pulling it up out of the water is
it's not any different.
It's got 2 shocks on it.
Still have lift assist.
It's still got the lift assist, but it's just the mount's built a lot better than what the old one was. And I've got both of them, and they just improved it. So what they did. The brushless is it's way better with my boat.
Batteries.
So why is that?
Less resistance.
Yeah,
it's just way more efficient.
Okay, so what trolling motors are you guys running?
Ultrex.
Ultrex. Ultrex. What about you, Joey?
Garmin Force.
Garmin Force.
Ghost.
Okay. I'm just curious. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but this is kind of intriguing to me. What's been the experience with these brands and models?
Look, I haven't had much trouble with any of them, but I'd rather have the Ultrex.
Okay.
The Ghost is fine, and it's run fine for me. I know a lot of people's had trouble with them, but
That's Lowrance, right?
yeah, it's hard to live scope with because it wants to keep going. You get to stop.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
and the arrowhead, the head doesn't
Yeah.
move. It's got that little disc
Mhm.
It's got a little disc that moves, but if you just want to bump it over to stay on that fish while you're drifting or whatever,
Yeah.
tends to want to go too far. It's hard to get. Now bass fishing, it works fine, bass fishing, but crappie where you really got to dial in, it's a little
Well, see,
different.
they were the first ones to come out with brushless, and they were. I mean, that was
I haven't had any trouble with mine.
Yeah.
And I do break props more than I would with any of them.
everybody does.
I never had much trouble breaking Minn Kota props, but this here, I broke 3 or 4 props.
How do you like your Garmin?
I like it.
Yeah.
It works good.
Perfect for
me.
what you
The
need,
second
yeah.
one I've had, so
Yeah. And you guys have run Ultrex for a while.
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
It's the best one they make.
It's the mount's great. You know, the lift assist is awesome. You know,
Smooth.
it's smooth. The steering, I prefer. It comes down to Ford and Chevy,
Yeah.
you know, type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer the steering on our Ultrexes over any of the others.
Mhm.
It's just,
For live scoping, it's a lot better.
it is.
How much higher priced are they than an Ultrex for the
The Quest,
Mhm.
about 700. So it's really not a lot
So-
more.
What price? What?
Almost a $4,000 burger.
One trip.
If you've got the Minn Kota if you got the Minn Kota transducer, they're $4,000. If you got the Universal, the Chirp one, they run 37.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What? All right. Well, cool. So Englishport Marine was doing an oil change special that just ended.
yeah, it ended in the March.
Okay. All right. And then, do they have any boat specials going on right now?
They've got some rebates on the low fishing boats and fishing pontoons. Got a pretty good selection. I would venture to say we got one of the biggest selections in the Midwest
Yeah.
right now. We were last year Lowe's #1 dealer in the country, so we've got quite a few 24s and 25s.
Yeah.
There's some good rebates on them. We'll see what happens with the economy here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't get the big tariffs, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Buddy of mine bought a boat, sent him down, and told you about that, I think, and he said it was a really, really great experience. The whole thing.
We try to treat everybody friendly and
Yeah.
do the right thing. That's our big.
Yeah. That's all you can do. So, well, a lot of great updates from Englishport
You
Marine.
need a better pro staff. Some of them. A little weak.
Yeah.
a little weak.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Yeah. Let's talk some fishing. Let's talk. Bass fishing is starting to pick up finally these last few weeks. We'll get into that here in a little bit because I know we haven't been able to talk a lot of bass on these videos here for several months since late fall last year because no one does a lot of bass
Fair
fishing.
weather fishermen.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because you had a December day where you went out and slaughtered them.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people fish bass on Truman
Right.
in the wintertime.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And at the time, the tournaments that were going on, there was only like mid 5-pounders
Yeah.
winning big bass, and we had a 6.02, I think it was, on the scale that day. And,
Wow.
you know, our 5 best weighed right at 18. So, and that was more than what it had been taken
Yeah.
to win things last fall. So,
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that here in a little
Yeah.
bit. I want to start with crappie. Richard, you are the crappie king. What is going on the old crappie fishing on Truman Lake?
Truman Lake crappie are on fire right now. Any creek you pull in, what I'm doing is fishing the very first half of the creek. I'm starting right at out in the channel even, and just zigzagging up the creek channel itself. Not catching a lot of fish on timber, which there is a lot on there, but they're brooming fish and they're all cocked up and they're eating. So just covering a lot of water. The first half of the creek, start at the mouth and just work your way back. And I've been in the last 2 weeks, probably 10 different creeks, playing the wind, different wind directions, and any creek you go to right now. I was in Sandbridge today and I didn't go 100 yards and was done.
Yeah.
Done at 8:45 this morning.
Yeah.
Put in a full day.
Wow.
All on jigs. We used
You
metal.
were done at 8:45? And you started when?
Left the marine at 7.
Wow.
Somebody's got to put in a lot of iron.
Yeah, yeah, apparently so.
That's,
Goodness.
how, that's how good the bite is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, every fish you drop on will bite
yeah.
if you got the right color. And, you know, I play with colors every day, and it's been black and pink and chartreuse and white for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one day they'll eat the white and chartreuse, the next day clouds don't matter, black and pink, and
Yeah.
they'll swallow that one.
Starting at the front, so they're staging. They're still in that staging phase of the spawn.
Yep. If I get to the back of the creeks, like Sand Branch, the further back I got, I run out of fish. So I just spun back around and kind of got on the other side of the channel, and there they were. So
Yeah.
I just haven't made it back on the grand that far.
Yeah. What kind of water temperature are we seeing throughout the lake?
When I quit, say 9 o'clock, it was 54 at Truman, or at the Sand Branch.
Sam Ranch. What do you guys have over? You said 57 in the sunny parts.
Yeah, it was in the afternoon 2 days ago, and on the sunny side of the creek it was 57, and then on the shady side of the creek it was 54.1.
Yeah.
So, it just depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that wind, and then
Solid.
that north side is typically.
I guarantee it was
warmer.
57, 58 this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got down the lower end?
Haven't been on the lower end of Truman in a bit.
Oh
Been
yeah,
closing
you're
in,
snagging
but
up.
It's like 52,
Okay.
53.
I've been running 50 to 51 on the lower end.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear water.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as the crappie spawn goes, as expected, we're still a couple weeks away.
I'm gonna say there'll be fish on the bank by probably Sunday or Monday if we don't have a coach.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be 83 degrees on Sunday.
Monday I caught some up there in Sparrowfoot that the
Shallow.
males were starting to put on their
Oh, they got
tuxedos.
their tuxedos on, yeah. A lot of hormones going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get good. We caught fish today up in 6 foot of water. That's the shallowest fish
Yeah.
we caught in
Yeah.
the scope. So
But not on the bank, not targeting the bank.
now, and there was guys in there fishing the bank, but they didn't catch any fish.
Yeah.
Not on the bank.
Yeah. Okay, so there's staging, there's roaming. Are there some on structure or mostly just?
There's a lot of fish on structure, but as a client, you know, taking your client and zigzagging through that open water is just a whole lot. It's more efficient to get them on an open water fish, and
Yeah.
they're sitting out in that open water. They're eating.
Yeah.
They're wanting something to eat, so
Yeah.
we oblige them.
Yeah.
How far down's the shad?
Shoot, they're from the top of the water down to 20 foot.
So there's plenty of food.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
from the front. And the back of the creeks are loaded with shad, but
Yeah.
the crappie's not back there.
See, that's what I saw too. Is that in the back of those pockets the other day, the shad were there, no bites.
Right. They'll be back there.
Yeah.
It won't be long.
So how come the bass wouldn't follow them right away if the food's back there?
Well,
And the food's still out front too.
not necessarily saying
That there's not some
that
there.
there's not there, but that particular day,
Yeah.
it was post frontal, high bluebird skies, and it was a tough fishing day,
Yeah.
at least for bass. So
Post frontal is typically a tougher day, is it not? Of fishing, you might still catch them, but it's typically slower, is it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. You said you were up by Sparrowfoot, Barry,
Mhm.
and just finding some good numbers, finding some bigger fish. What was the latest up there?
It pretty dirty up there. I mean,
Yeah.
chocolate milk. It,
Yeah.
it was fun. But if you got it on their nose, they were eating.
Yeah.
And like Richard said, the ones out roaming were way easier to catch.
Yeah.
We found some on the trees, but they just weren't that aggressive off the trees.
Yeah. But you had to put it on their nose because of how dirty it was
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
yeah. And I was using blue and white hair jigs.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, they as long as you got it close,
Yeah.
they hammered it.
Are you putting them right on their nose, or are they seeing it a foot away?
I get it down to about 6 inches above their nose, and you'll see them kind of shake, and when they'll go ahead and cock up, and then they'll actually start dropping a lot of times. And if you drop
Yeah.
with them, you're not going to catch that fish, because
Yeah.
that fish knows that bait's not going to, that minnow's not going to come down there to get eaten. So
Yeah.
if I can get my clients to leave that there, when you see them shaking and they drop a little, they're getting raw.
They're getting
That's
ready.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I just have them pull it away. So don't shake it. If you shake it, they're gone. Just slow as you can go up with it, and they'll come and crush it.
Yeah. If you were fishing these conditions 6 years ago before live scope, what would you be doing?
Spider rigging.
Spider rigging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Well, I got real good with the Humminbird 360 too. I could pick them fish off. I couldn't tell how deep it was, but I could catch that fish if I seen on that 360.
So you can, because it shows you the fish.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily live. It's kind of delayed.
It's like a radar. Dong, dong.
But would you pitch that bait to where you believe the fish was on that
No.
stream, or how were you using
You
it?
could tell how far out that fish is.
Okay.
I just got used to it. And I could get out and it'll ping on it, then have to come around and ping on him again. And I could get it right on him.
Yeah.
Got real, and you'd see a tree with two or three fish on it. So
Yeah.
I was good with it, but this is much more efficient than live scope.
Yeah.
But I'd be spider rigging if I wasn't doing this. Probably. There was 2 or 3 boats out rigging today, and they was catching fish, a lot of fish.
Yeah. And how many rods are they running? 6, 8?
8.
Okay. And you can have how many per person?
Well, you can have 33 hooks in the water.
Oh,
33
geez.
rods if you put your name and number on them.
Yeah.
But everybody runs about 6 or 8 poles. That's what we always did.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're gonna run 8 rods, what's your methodology of how deep are the outside ones, deeper, shallower? Like what? How are you setting those 4 rods on
I
depth?
always set them